Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our very first episode of Sky Factory 3. I was actually debating about this pack if I wanted to throw it into the mix, because I have so much going on, plus we actually have a collaboration coming up very, very soon, which I'm really excited. I'm really excited for. It's a really neat pack. And it'll be coming out before too long, so I'll keep you guys updated. But anyway, I did have a couple requests for Sky Factory 3, and it just came out today, so I was like, okay, I've got two series that are actually ending fairly soon. I've actually went ahead and recorded the remaining episodes for them, so I had some free time slots. In Sky Factory 3, I was like, okay, we're gonna squeeze it in here as best we can. So anyway, let's go ahead and make ourselves a world. We're gonna call it to Asgaard LP, and it's a void world, and I think that's pretty much, yeah, there's Garden of Glass. I don't know, we'll go with void world. Just the standard void world. And we'll just go ahead and leave the seed blank. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a void world, so it doesn't particularly matter. We'll just go ahead actually and do to Asgard LP. Same as the name. So, and let's go ahead and create the world. Alright, it looks like we have a number of starting things here. We've got an achievement book for simple achievements. Whoops. What is it? I think I might have to turn off JEI in order to get it to work. But anyways, we've got all these nice things. Let's go ahead. And we're going to get ourselves a crook to get started. Because you guys may know from my Sky Factory 2 series that I have terrible luck. Terrible luck getting the initial sapling without a crook. So, and actually, let me turn the volume down just a little bit here. We'll go to like 30. We did manage to get ourselves a sapling and a worm already, so I'm happy with that. Just a few saplings. We have 3, so it's not terrible to start with, I guess. And well, we got 4. Okay. I guess I could have stood on the edge over there and broke those, but meh. That's okay. And we'll put this out. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of an area to start on. And we're going to put our slabs down like this, just to keep mobs from spawning. Does make it a little bit easier here. Alright, so we have a nice little starting area. I should be able to gather from these. Maybe get another sapling. We'll see. Oh, there's an apple. I'll take that. And let's see, what do we... Whoops. What do we start in? A desert. Awesome. Okay. And, okay, we can still twerk for trees. Happy about that. That definitely makes starting out so much easier. Without twerking, like, it's such a pain to start out. And sadly, there is no vein miner in Sky Factory 3. I'm assuming because I don't think vein miner has been updated yet to 1.10. I could be wrong on that. I mean, I haven't personally looked it up, but it will make it a little bit more work initially, because we're going to have to break all this stuff manually. But that's okay. I mean, really, we don't use it too much after the initial start, so. But anyways, I'm going to break a few trees and get a few saplings to get us started, and then we'll start moving forward. And let's go ahead and get ourselves an axe, just to make this a little bit quicker to break these, this wood and everything. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves a barrel to get started, and actually, let's go ahead and get 2 of these. I don't think that this will passively fill up with water. I don't believe. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a... one way that we can get water if we start in a desert, it's not really an issue, is we can make ourselves a wooden crucible. which we are going to need a little bit of actual oak wood for that. So I'm going to get a little bit more here. So we'll go ahead and do just like that and get ourselves our oak crucible, and we'll just put this over here for now. And this can be used to get water from any kind of plant material, just like we would get dirt. So we can throw this in here, and you'll see that it starts actually converting. It's going to require 10 saplings though to get a bit of water. So go ahead and do that. Let me gather a bit more saplings. And there we go, 2 more saplings, and that's going to give us, once that's done, that'll give us our first bucket of water. Now we are going to want an additional bucket of water, and we'll get our infinite water source up and going pretty quickly. So we're going to need a bit more saplings, and then we're also going to need some wood, because I'd like to go ahead and start getting string, or not some wood, I want more dirt is what I want. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I guess this first bit of dirt, we're just going to do it with silkworms, because we got plenty of those. I'm not too concerned with changing those over into dirt. Alright, so we have our first bit of dirt now, or first created bit of dirt, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to set it up just right back here. And I'm going to build a little bit around it so that we don't have stuff falling off anyway. Alright, so we'll get our sapling planted, and let's go ahead. This should be close enough to grow both of them, right? And by the way, twerking, I mean, just do your shift click, and it'll speed up the growth, just like bone meal. Not quite as effective, but it will speed it up a bit. But we're going to go ahead and put a silkworm onto that and let it start infesting the leaves so we can start getting some string. To make ourselves a sieve and all that good stuff. Alright, and so now we've got ourselves some infested leaves. They actually infest extremely quickly, so you don't have to wait too long on this stuff. So now we can start getting some string, and you also have a fairly good chance to get more silkworms out of these infested leaves as well. So, and we got our second piece of dirt now. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that, because honestly, when you can twerk for the trees, it's not as bad. You don't need as many trees planted, I don't feel like. So we're just going to hold on to that dirt because we're going to use it for sieving to get our first bit of cobblestone and stuff before too long. Oh, and actually I just discovered that this pack does have wooden shears from the wooden shears mod. So that's what we're going to do, is make ourselves some wooden shears. This actually makes life 100 times easier, just saying. Because what we can do is we can shift shear all these leaves off. And you'll notice it does run through the shears fairly quickly. So we're not going to be able to get too many leaves that way. But 30 oak leaves, we can get quite a bit of dirt being made with these leaves. So it does go a long way, really. I believe it makes, I want to say it makes a half stack, or you can shear a half stack off before the shears break. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I recall, because I think there was still some stuck up there and everything. So that's how we're going to start getting our both our water and our dirt from here on out, is just shearing those leaves. And you actually still have a chance to get your saplings too when you shear those leaves. So it does help quite a bit. I'm just going to chop this down. I hate these big trees. They drive me insane. Oh, you know what? Vein Miner is in this pack. It's still the standard button and everything. Because I can, yeah, it works. Okay, I just didn't see it in the list, but it does, in fact work. So that's awesome. I could have sped that up a lot had I realized that. I do apologize, guys. Okay, so dirt and water and that kind of stuff is easy to get now. Now that we have leaves and shears and all that good stuff, we've got plenty of saplings. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to get a sieve. And we'll go ahead and go with the... No, I don't want the heavy sieve. I just want a standard sieve. And if you haven't seen my Stranded Forever series yet. These do require a mesh, so you are going to have to make some mesh. But luckily that's very, very easy to do. We'll start out with a silk mesh. There's, I believe, if I recall, 3 different kinds of meshes. Yeah, there's string mesh, flint stiffened mesh, iron stiffened, and diamond stiffened. It's a little bit different in Stranded Forever. I believe it's only, I want to say it's only 3 on there, but, and they're a little bit different, but we'll go ahead and go with this string mesh, and we'll just right click it into there, and then what we can do is we can start sieving our dirt. And what we're trying to get is these stone pebbles to make our first bit of cobblestone to get us started. And right now I've got 31 pieces. What I needed really is 32. So, but now what we can do is we can take this cobble, or these stone pebbles, and make our cobblestone and get our furnace. Sadly, there's no half furnace, so we're stuck with just doing a standard furnace right now, but that's okay. That is alright. We'll just set it up right here. And then the next thing that we're going to want is we're going to want to start getting ourselves some dust, because we're going to want to make ourselves a crucible. I see some interesting things in here, like some kind of chickens that can lay clay. I don't know. Mystical agriculture. That looks like magical crops. Like a port of magical crops, so that will be fun to get into, but we're going to need a bit more cobblestone because we're going to have to break it down. So let's see, there's our first piece. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a hammer. And we can make this out of wood if we want to. So that's what we'll do, at least to start out with, is wooden hammer. And then we'll just break down this cobblestone, get our gravel, break down our gravel, get our sand, break down our sand, and get ourselves some dust. And then we can throw that dust in the water to get our clay. And then that clay, of course, we can break that down into little bits of clay. So, very, very nice. We are going to need a few more pieces, though, which means I'm going to need more dirt. These shears work with vein miner, too, so very, very easy to get our resources. I was just assuming it wasn't in here because I didn't see it in the controls list. That's what I was looking for, but it is there. I must have just missed over it or something. So, apologize about that. I made it a little bit more grindy than it had to be at the start, but at the same time, this does require more hunger, usually if you use vein miner, so I guess there's a negative to it slightly, but alright, so we got 4 more pieces of cobble. That's great. So we'll go ahead and just lay that out and hammer it down, and let's see. I believe bone meal comes from dust, right? Oh, right. Yeah, from dust. Okay. So that's what we're going to aim for. And we're going to want a little bit more clay as well, so that's fine. And that's still converting water over, so. But let's go ahead and sieve up a bit of this dust. We're going to want a bit of bone meal. And we'll also get some metals and stuff in the process. We got ourselves a piece of iron ore, and that was it. That was just really unlucky, I think. The clay bucket doesn't actually require the porcelain clay. It just requires just standard clay. So we're going to go ahead and get that cooking up. Let's see. Get some sticks. And there we go. We got our first clay bucket. This is from ceramics. And let's set it up. I'll tell you what, we're going to put it like right there for right now. And we'll go ahead and get our bucket of water. We'll let that start filling up. And let's get ourselves one more bit of water. This will be the last time that we have to do this, because then we can just use our infinite water source. And then let's go ahead and get our cells. We need a little bit more. I believe the crucible takes porcelain clay. It does. Okay. See, that's bone meal and clay combined. So we're going to need 7 pieces of bone meal to get us moving forward with that. I guess I could make a mob farm. That might actually be better. Quicker. Okay, yeah, I keep saving and getting nothing, like, over and over and over again. I am going to make just a few chests here, and we'll just put them right there. And we'll throw some of this stuff into there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a little bit of charcoal here. Oops. Just to make ourselves some torches, because we have a couple places where mobs could spawn. It's not very many spots, but there are a couple that they could spawn on. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a torch. And I think it was just really right there, honestly. But anyways, let's go ahead, and this needs to come out about 25 blocks. So, alright, and for right now, we'll go with something just like this. Make sure your slabs are like even with the ground and everything. Or even, you know, with a normal block and not a half slab, because mobs won't be able to spawn on these half slabs like this. And for right now, I'm not as concerned with getting ender pearls, so I'm just going to cover this over at a 2-block height, and we'll end up making a better one. This is just temporary to get ourselves basically just bone meal at the moment is really all I'm really gunning for. Alright, so now we have a little, it's a very rinky-dink mob farm. We'll go over there in just a second once I give it the mobs a second to spawn. But like I said, it's going to be a very temporary one. I'm actually curious, does this have... No, okay, it doesn't have woot. That's fine. But let's go ahead and just make ourselves just a basic sword, just to kill things with. You know, as bats are spawning. And I'm going to go ahead and build like some little handrails just to keep us from like stepping off of this. Just to be on the safe side. Because one of the biggest dangers when you're starting out in Sky Factory is, of course, stepping off the edge. So, we'll do something like that. We got ourselves a zombie. I'll tell you what I should have done. And I'm going to change this up just a little bit. Because I don't know why I built it without raising the floor. But now we have infinite water source. So, this is very, very easy to do. But let's go ahead and drop our floor just a little bit. And the way that we'll do that is we'll just throw down some water right here and then use that water to build out. So it is a little bit dangerous, so be careful. Just a forewarning, but don't fall off right there. And we did get 2 bones, by the way, from whatever we killed. I thought we killed a zombie, but whatever it is, it dropped a bone, 2 bones, so I'm assuming maybe a skeleton. But though I have seen zombies carrying bones, so maybe that's what it was. Anyways, we've got something like this. This will work fine for a day 1 mob farm. Like I said, I mainly just want to get bones so that we can get ourselves some bone meal. And now we actually have enough bone meal that quickly to get ourselves our crucible. So we are going to need a little bit more dirt because we're going to need just a little bit more clay. So I've got 5 pieces in here, and then if we just combine this and this, that's how we're going to get our porcelain clay. Alright, so there we go. We got ourselves our last bit of clay and 2 pieces of that. Our bone meal, that'll get us our crucible, unfired crucible, and then we'll just get that cooking. And of course the crucible can run off of lava or torches, or basically torches are going to be what you start with, and then down the road we can upgrade to fire or to lava. Fire is the best. So there are some other options, but I don't believe that they're present. Like blazing pyrotheum, I don't think is in here. So I think fire is probably going to be our best option moving forward. So anyway, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and let's actually get ourselves a torch. And we'll just set this up over here. We'll put our torch down like right here, and then we'll just put our crucible on top of it. So that works for me. I'm happy with it. And what we'll do is we'll just bring this up like that. So it's a little bit easier to access and all that good stuff. And then we're going to need to get ourselves a bit of lava. If I recall correctly, or a bit of cobblestone. If I recall correctly, we're going to need 4 pieces of it. But we can add them in, as we get them. Because it is going to take a while to change over. You'll notice it's slowly changing that solid cobblestone over into liquid lava at a 1x rate right now. So let's get ourselves a bit more dirt. And we just need 1 more piece of cobble. I already threw 1 more in there. So basically you're going to need 4 pieces. Each piece of cobble is 250 millibuckets of lava. So, and I only need 1 stone pebble. So this should be enough. There we go. And then we can throw that in there. And that should be the last time that we have to make cobble, theoretically. Because the next step is we're going to make a cobble gin. So this is when it starts getting a little bit easier. Of course, getting that lava, that initial lava and that water and everything together should be your first goal, I guess, in the pack. So this isn't really spawning mobs terribly quick, but it is spawning mobs fast enough for our current uses. We did get a loot bag. Like I said, that's not going to spawn Enderman. You have to make at least 3 high. So if you want Enderman, go ahead and bump it up a little bit. I'm not sure if Quark's in the pack. That's one reason I didn't really care to get Enderman, because I have bad experiences with Quark. Let's see what our loot bag has. We've got 5 pieces of mini coal. So, let me throw that down. We got, okay, there we go. We got 5 pieces. But anyways, now we've got a little bit of bones and stuff together, and we've got our lava being created. But anyway, I do believe that I'm going to end out this episode here. We're right at the end of day 2 right now. So we actually got through all of that fairly quickly and got a decent start going towards our base. So I'm fairly happy with, the first couple days. Of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free and let me know. And also keep in mind, if you're not in a desert biome, if it rains, you can actually collect water naturally with your wooden barrels, just by having them out with a line of sight to the sky. Also, I'm not entirely sure about in Sky Factory 3, but I know in the past, whenever it rains, if you look up, you can actually fill up your hunger by drinking the water that falls from the sky. So, definitely worth a shot if you're, not in the desert. So, MHF Villager from Headcrumbs. Alright. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And if you want to continue seeing more Sky Factory, be sure and hit that like button so I know that you guys are interested in it. And yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And next episode, we'll get our cobble gen up and going and start looking into actually getting some basic power going. And then, down after that, ore processing and whatnot. So I hope you guys join me for that. And until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.